Hey there. Welcome to another episode of the Super Review Show's Mixed Bag, coming to you once again from the J Cave. I am joined by my two good friends and co-hosts of the Super Review Show's Mixed Bag, Mike. I'm just kidding. I'm thinking of my other show.
Well,
Bill and Allie, what's going on?
Wrong podcast. Sorry about that.
Wrong
Hey,
podcast.
what's going on? And,
oh my God.
And
Terrible
now
note.
fully officially of the Super Review Show, since you have bought Movieholics.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, so for those of you who don't know, we do the show live on YouTube, number one. And number two, we have successfully merged Movieholics Productions and the Super Review Show under the Super Review Show umbrella, if you will. I'm kind of like Disney in this case, which is kind of funny. I'm acquiring all these.
It was a literal, dude. It was a literal poolside.
Yeah, it was a chat.
Negotiation. No, this negotiation literally took place poolside.
Yeah, so. But hey, it happened, and we are all ready to go. So, but for tonight's topic, just a friendly reminder, everyone.
Wait. I wouldn't say it right now.
Okay, fine, I won't say it
because you know the only reason why we would say it.
Because you gotta like and subscribe.
Bingo.
Exactly.
That's the only way to tell that we are the best.
We are the best podcast. We the best podcast.
That's why I would never do it first. You have to like and subscribe to us. Follow us on all of our social media outlets.
Yes. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And follow us on our Instagram simply at the Super
Soon to
Review
come
Show.
Threads.
Soon to come threads. Exactly.
Yeah,
Meta.
take that, Elon.
Well, speaking of Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. But anyways, so tonight's topic, though, as the title of this episode suggests, due to Oppenheimer, the highly anticipated Christopher Nolan blockbuster film coming out this weekend in July of 2023.
Don't forget the Barbie movie.
And the Barbie movie, mind you. We cannot forget Barbie.
JT, are you a Barbie girl in a Barbie?
I am a Barbie girl living in a Barbie world, baby.
You're wrapped in plastic, and guess what?
Life is fantastic.
Fantastic. Come, Barbie, let's
Welcome
go party.
to Barbenheimer, people. I mean, that's not the topic.
Barbenheimer memes are going around online, everyone, and it's really the memes. But yes, so as the title of this podcast suggests, we're going to be talking about our favorite biopics that we've seen over the course of our lifetimes. And I'm going to go first and set the mood for this one. There's a movie that came out. It's based on a book, but it's also a movie about a notorious gangster that came out in 1990. I don't know if you guys know this one with Goodfellas. Have you guys ever heard of the movie Goodfellas?
I never knew Goodfellas was a biopic to begin with.
I actually read the
you
book.
think I'm funny? You think I'm like a clown?
You think Allie's quoting the movie? Yes.
How am I funny? Am I like a clown? I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to amuse you.
Yeah, guys, you think this is funny, don't you? We're amusing.
Tell me, what the? It's so funny.
Ah.
Oh
I want to begin by saying,
yeah,
this is actually one of my favorite movies.
it's a great movie. Fantastic.
One of my favorite movies.
I mean, for those of you who don't know, it's the story of Henry Hill, who was literally spent 3 decades of life in the mafia, and it's based on his book. It is a biopic. Technically, I wouldn't say it's directly a biopic, but I would say it's a loose biopic about it's a loose biopic about his life. It stars Robert De Niro, the late great Roy Liotta. Is that how you say his name?
Ray Liotta.
Don't forget Robert De Niro as well, and Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci won his only Oscar for this movie. This is a big time movie for them back in the day. Martin Scorsese's directing it, of course.
Scorsese.
Yes.
He should have got this movie should have won Best Picture.
I agree.
It lost to Dances with Wolves.
But Dances with Wolves is a good movie too.
I haven't watched it, so I can't speak of the matter.
So I'm going to give you guys an early question. Will Oppenheimer win Best Oscar?
Well,
Best Picture?
You know what?
That's
Here's the thing, and we got a bigger question. Is there even going to be an Oscars?
Oh, that's right.
Because of,
Go watch our strike video to explain everything.
The writers are on strike. The actors are on strike.
Attention, people of Bikini Bottom. You will be cheated and lied to.
But you know who's not on strike?
Who?
We're not on strike.
I'm going on strike. Goodbye, guys.
You know what, JT, Allie and I are going on strikes.
What are you going to revolt against?
I'm just kidding.
We do the show for free.
Money.
Exactly. No, but
Goodfellas. Didn't get it. Okay, yeah. Allie, I don't think our strike's gonna work. Come back.
It's not gonna work. But Goodfellas,
we don't get paid for this, so yet.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen Goodfellas, though, get on. It's one of the best movies of all time. One of the best movies of all time.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese and directing, and Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Paul Sorvino. This is a fantastic movie.
Wait, are you sure we're not going on strike now?
Allie, you are ridiculous.
Oh, wait.
Mixed bag unfair. Okay, I just want to say, we are not making fun of striking. We here at the Super Review Show stand with the WBA. We stand with SAG.
Yep.
Screw AI.
So we can get good.
We are with the SAG. We are with the Screen Actors Guild, and we support the Writers Guild Association. So we're not making fun of striking. We just want to.
No.
But anyway,
you guys have the right to strike. I don't care how long you wait. I have to wait until my series finale, Stranger Things, comes out. I don't care about Wednesday. Get your butts out there and do what's right.
Yeah, but anyway, can I just say about Goodfellas? Because I'll be honest with you, I can literally talk about this movie all night.
Goodfellas movie commentary coming next year. I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
No, yes, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We are doing it.
We'll do it one day. I'll put it down.
One day we are freaking doing this.
We'll do it one day. Anyways.
But anyway, the movie itself, the biopic, accuracy, because I actually saw an interview with Henry Hill, and Henry Hill said it was about 99% accurate. But okay, you know what? It's time you all learn a very valuable lesson.
What's the lesson?
They take, okay, when they do when they say based on a true story,
it's never based on a true story.
Take it with a grain of salt.
It's loosely based on a true story.
Exactly.
Studios usually take some artistic liberties.
I mean, 95% of the time they're going to do that anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what it is? Because it's not like everything in this movie happened, even when he had for lunch that day. He held that sandwich the exact same way. It's accurate down to a T. Everything is accurate. But yeah, but if I've read the book, and here's what the things. One, how they said that it was Joe Pesci's character that introduced Henry to his then wife Karen.
Mm.
It was actually Paulie.
Oh.
Another thing, you know how they said it was cocaine, the drug there, it was actually heroin.
Oh wow.
And this is also, and let's see. Everything else was basically true. So one thing that they did leave out, you know, that scene when Joe Pesci's character goes to what is going to be made a made man, and then he's whacked.
Yeah.
They left out that because he killed Billy Batts, which was actually part of John Gotti's family. John Gotti's crime family, the Gambinos. That Paulie and Gotti's people had to sit down, and Gotti and Paulie gave him the green light to kill him. But yeah, but the But it's just what I love about this biopic is, and this is something that I actually find very interesting about Marty Scorsese.
Yeah, what is it?
He doesn't use film scores. Have you noticed?
Oh.
He does. He's very much a soundtrack director.
Because you know what? He likes to show the time of what the time was like.
Of the movie, right? Or whatever time period they're in.
You know, because like this movie takes place from the mid to late 50s up until like the early 80s.
Yeah.
So like, you know, when you have the 50s, you have like the doo-wop type of stuff. When you have the 60s, you have like the, you know, hippie rock type of stuff. And yeah, but I freaking love this movie. One of my favorites.
It's a great movie.
Ray Liotta is amazing.
He was one. He didn't really do much outside of this, but he was
He did a few things.
I mean,
he was in Field of Dreams.
I forgot about that. That's right.
And don't forget his
Right?
send-off. You know what his send-off was?
What?
Cocaine Bear.
Nice.
Ooh, Cocaine Bear. Fun.
That was. How do you think he went to his grave, knowing that was his last film?
It's not that bad.
Oh, Cocaine Bear. I love that movie.
But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it was a love the film. One of my favorite quotes besides the funny goes, "Congratulations." Well, what? I got pinched. Everyone gets pinched sometimes, but you learn the two most important lessons. Never rat on your friends, and always keep your mouth shut.
Absolutely.
That's good advice. Don't rat on your friends. Don't be a tattletale. I think that's just good advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't rat on your friends. But
mouth shut.
Yeah, but it really shows you at the end, and you know, this kind of shows in another Scorsese film, which we'll probably be talking about in a bit. You know what? I'll tie that together when we get there.
Okay.
I'll tie it all together. All right, Miss Allison, my dear.
I feel like biopic wise, I'm gonna go with another Oscar nominated and actually an Oscar winning one. I'm gonna go a little bit back, going back into like the 1930s, 40s. I'm going with The King's Speech.
The King's Speech. I actually did not see the 13 film?
It is a 2013 film. It's about
No, it's 2010.
2010. I forgot what it's all about. I think it's George VI taking over as King of England and dealing with a stuttering problem his whole life and had to hire someone to help him with his speech, especially when he did a huge speech towards the end of the movie to help
about
England
World War II. When England was about to enter World War II. You know what I love? There was actually a scene, and it shows you when King George and a very young Queen Elizabeth are sitting down there, and they're watching Hitler give a speech.
Mm.
And they're saying, "Daddy, what is he saying?" Goes, "I don't know, dear, but he's saying it very well."
Mm.
And you know, that really shows, you know, him putting his own doubts about his stuttering. Because when you look at Hitler, and you know, that very quote, he's saying it very well. Thinking, damn, this guy can talk.
Yeah.
But did you know that there was actually a scene when he goes, "Well, can you swear?" And he goes, and he says the F word like 5 times in a row, or 4 or 5 times in a row.
Yeah.
And you know what they did to that movie?
What?
They made it rated R for that one scene.
Oh, well. But you know what? It still won the Oscar.
What, best
you know
picture,
what they
right?
actually
Yep.
did? they actually re-edited that scene, only left one F word and turned the rest of the F words to the S word. Because the reason why, and this is actually pretty interesting, they wanted to release it to the general public so young people who have a hard time stuttering could go see it. And listen, if anyone out there watching has a stuttering problem, you know who else stuttered besides King George?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, and he's president of the United States. So,
yep.
So don't.
And a fun fact: Helena Bonham Carter plays King George VI's wife, Elizabeth. She's also in The Crown, which is another series, which is a Netflix series based off the life of Queen Elizabeth II.
It's all connected.
And guess who she plays?
Who, Helena Bonham Carter?
Yep.
Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother?
Nope.
Who?
Her sister.
Princess Margaret.
Yep. In seasons 3 and 4, and got nominated, and she got nominated for an Emmy for that.
Wow. The more you know.
I guess, can we consider The Crown being a biopic series?
Yeah, we can consider
We're gonna
that.
add it in there.
We'll throw it in there at the end. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, anything to say about the King's speech?
Anything else?
Go watch it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it.
I actually have not seen it. So I have to, it's been on my, I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, that's right. This movie. So I knew what it was about. I just never saw it. So now I have to go see it.
Yeah. So anything else?
No,
I think that's it.
Okay. Since we started with a Scorsese film, guess what I'm going with?
another Scorsese film.
And you put this on the list, Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Fun.
Hey, we started with a Scorsese film. We got to go with another Scorsese film. And this is about the life of Jordan Belfort, played by that man over there, Leonardo DiCaprio, in which he should have won an Oscar for.
Yeah, he's so good. DiCaprio, come on.
I'm looking at you, Academy.
Yeah.
He already won an Oscar like 10 years after this movie.
Literally.
No, it was like 2 years after.
No,
Oh,
10.
great.
When did Wolf of Wall Street come out? 2008?
13.
13?
Yep.
By the way, 10-year anniversary commentary of Wolf of Wall Street coming soon.
Probably this year. We're gonna look into it.
No, another one of my favorite movies. So, this is about the life of Jordan Belfort, who is a stockbroker and eventually starts his own firm called Stratton Oakmont. And he basically does what's called a pump and dump scheme, which means he takes people's money. What he does is basically very similar to Bernie Madoff. And this whole film, there's another topic we're going to be doing in the somewhat near future. It's going to be called movies that you shouldn't watch with your parents or grandparents.
Oh yeah.
And let's just say this is going to be on that list.
Whenever that happens, I probably will not be there because there are more inappropriate things I could talk about on this, but I'm choosing to abstain myself from that.
Oh, we want you to come talk about inappropriate stuff.
I'm abstaining because there really is inappropriate stuff you should never watch with your parents and grandparents. Go look it up.
Fun. That's what makes it fun, Allie.
As in, it's inappropriate for real.
But anyway, this is about the life of course, artistic liberties were taken.
Yep.
But you know what? I want to tell you, that's JT, you've never seen it, so
unfortunately, you could spoil it. It's okay. I will honestly probably forget about it and then.
No, there's a scene when they're on a boat.
Okay.
And the cruise, and they're trying to get one place, and they're saying, "Hey, there's chop." And goes, we can handle it. Like, we make it a few broken dishes, but we're okay. And it's like a giant storm.
Wow.
And guess what? Because they did a sit down with Jordan Belfort. They go, that happened. Yeah, it happened. That really happened. But you know what? I'm going to say this. Belfort's speeches are probably some of the greatest speeches ever. I love the scenes when he's like just talking to the camera and he's walking like and he's explaining this financial term. He goes, okay, I know you're not following me, and that's okay. Let me give you the short version. Was all this legal? But we were making more money than we knew what to do with. So yeah. But this was a true story, and what ended up happening was Belfort ended up getting arrested.
Really?
Yeah, and he actually got sentenced to. He actually had to do some time in federal prison.
Oh my God.
And that's what actually made him. And one of his whatchamacallit, his cellmate was actually Cheech from Cheech and Chong.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
And he actually said, hey, you should write a book.
And
he wrote a book, and guess what?
Book turned into the movie.
Book turned into a movie.
How about that?
And this movie has garnered some controversy.
Like what?
Because they're showing that, like, if you watch at the end of the movie, Jordan Belfort's getting introduced to a press conference.
Yeah.
Or not a press conference, like a seminar. And it shows that he's doing very well since he got out of prison, and everyone's thinking like, hey, he screwed over people's money. Because you know what? This kind of ties into we lost Allie. This kind of ties into the Goodfellas thing I'm talking about. People thought this movie was controversial because they said it glorified what he did. Because it kind of glorifies what he did. And Jordan Belfort in the interviews himself had said, this shouldn't be taken as glorification. This should be seen as a cautionary tale.
Okay.
But if you see at the end of Goodfellas, if you look at the end, you know, like, here's an interesting thing. Do you think, JT, do you think movies like that, do you think they kind of glorify that type of lifestyle?
I mean, maybe. I'm not sure.
Because, you know, he was making big money. He was making big money. And because someone we know, and guess who this someone we know is?
Who?
You know him. You love him.
Dr.
Matt Hemsley.
Our dear friend.
Our dear friend, Dr. Matt Hemsley. He actually told me, and Matt, if you are watching this, please tell me if I got this right. If I'm not, please correct me. He told me he went to a very preppy private school.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that a lot of the guys who've seen this movie basically wanted to be like him.
All right.
And like, listen, to answer that question, I don't know if it's extremely glorifying it. Because Belfort himself had said this is a cautionary tale of what happens when you get into this type of thing.
Right.
And yeah, but when you look at Goodfellas, it doesn't really glorify that type of lifestyle because it really shows you at the end, Henry gets his consequences.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Belfort, yeah, he goes to prison for a couple of years, but then he comes out, he writes a book, he gets a book deal, he gets a movie deal. He does a bunch of seminars and stuff.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he's not hurting for money right now.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I'm sure Mr. Belfort is doing very well for himself.
I'm sure he is. I mean, no doubt about it.
I'm sure Jordan Belfort is doing very well for himself. Like, yeah, but that seminar scene when Belfort's coming on and Leonardo DiCaprio comes on stage, you know who actually introduces Leonardo DiCaprio?
Who?
The real Jordan Belfort.
Ha, that's funny.
That is the real Jordan. Yeah, that is the real Jordan Belfort.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And you know what? One of my favorite things he does at seminars
What's that?
is a little technique he does, right?
Yeah.
JT?
Yeah.
Sell me this pen.
Okay.
Sell me this pen.
How much do you want for it?
Like, no, that is a literal tactic that he uses.
I'm trying to follow you. Forgive me. That's all.
No, that is a little business tactic that he uses when he sits down there and he goes to seminars and he'll go, you, sell me this pen. And basically talk to me, make me want to buy this pen. Make me want to buy this pen.
Right. All right.
And I know that sounds silly.
It does, but hey, it's intriguing. You know what I mean?
I remember I was working for a pre-college program the summer after this came out, and I wanted to tell because I was one of the senior leaders.
Yeah.
I'd been there, and I said, "Hey, for training, why don't we do this exercise?" And I looked at my boss, and I'm like, "Sell me this pen." And she's looking at me like I have four heads. Like, Kate, sell me this pen. And she's like,
yeah.
What the heck are you talking about? I'm like, have you seen the movie The Wolf of Wall Street? She goes, no, I haven't. Okay, then you won't get it. But yeah, I think the biopic, like, this is one of those things when you swear that you don't think things could happen, they happen. Like, yeah, and comes to another movie, so I'm sure we'll talk about a little later, but
yeah.
Okay, I yield the floor to my good friend, Mr. Mahoney.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Miss Wiener's back.
She had to step out for a second.
She's got, and then she's gone. She'll be back.
Bill her 1 second. So, anyways,
I know her internet crapped out.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's jump over to for technical difficulties on our part. Everyone, sorry about that. Okay, let's jump. It's my go, right?
Sure, go.
All right. We actually did a movie commentary on this one on our YouTube channel.
Is what I think it is?
It's 42.
Yes.
We did. What's up, Bill? You brought it out. Nice. She's showing us the DVD copy.
And we actually used that copy.
Yeah. This is Allie's pick, which she messaged me and said,
sorry, my Wi-Fi has been very off.
And trust me, I know what Wi-Fi problems are like. JT, remember when we had, backtrack vocals on? And as soon as they were singing, my internet crapped the bed. Remember that?
Yeah, it's all right.
I remember when it froze and I'm like this. And one of them is like, I think he's frozen. Because that or he just really likes that mic.
That's right. But 42, bud.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Oh, great. We did a commentary on this.
We did.
And you know why it's funny you bring that up?
Why is that?
Rachel Robinson, Jackie Robinson's widow.
Now, there are 3 participants in the meeting. You have been added to the waiting room. You cannot talk or listen until the host admits.
What the heck is going on here?
It's me.
Or unmute yourself by pressing on.
But anyway,
Yeah, 42. Great movie.
and I'll let Allie say her piece in a second. Rachel Robinson, Jackie Robinson's widow.
Yep.
Today's actually her birthday.
Oh, get out. Really?
She's still alive.
How old is she? She's what, 40? No, not 40. 90 something.
She's 101 years old.
That's crazy.
God bless you, Mrs. Robinson. And no, not meaning the song, but
yeah, not the song. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Rachel Robinson is 101 years old and she's still kicking. God bless her. God bless her.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, but what I like about this, it really shows you what Jackie went through.
Yeah, it was definitely really. We touched. I don't want to go too much in depth.
Go watch our commentary. It's great.
But our movie commentary we did of this movie 42. We touched on this also during Black History Month too. We touched on it during that time and back in February of last year. But this was a movie that was really
Yeah, Allie's is dealing with some crap right now with her. Everything all right over there?
Working on it.
Okay, technical difficulty music. Do 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 do. Yeah, you want to go watch our commentary on it.
yeah.
It's really good. We promise it's good.
It's really good. We worked really hard on it.
Yeah, like it really showed, I remember that scene when what's his face? Chapman is screaming at Jackie Robinson and he's calling him all the racial slurs, and
that was emotional as can be, man.
That scene, I'll be honest, that scene made me super uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
That scene made me super, super uncomfortable. I hope she comes back.
Just go with the flow, bud. Okay. But anything else for 42, bud?
Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace.
Yes, absolutely. The guy was a legendary actor too. So he played a lot of roles that were very much like, like very almost like empowering of the Black community, if you will. So.
Oh, absolutely.
So, anyways,
yeah, great movie.
Great
We're not
movie.
talking too much about it because we did a whole commentary on it, and I don't want to repeat what I said there. So go watch it.
Yep, of course. What is your? Why don't you go next? What do you got? Because I chose 42.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about another sports movie one? I got one. I could share one if you'd like.
All right, let's hear it.
Did you see Remember the Titans?
I actually haven't. All right, let's hear it, folks. Oh, look who's back.
Shame. It's okay. No, this is really Remember the Titans. This was your pick.
Yeah, this was my pick. And honestly, thank you to my history teachers every goddamn year for playing this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
You know what, Allie? Why don't we let you talk about it?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Before I lose my Wi-Fi for the 10th time.
No rush.
Thanks, Internet.
That's Zoom mostly.
Thanks, Zoom. Oh wait, we can't say anything bad about Zoom
If we can.
because we use it.
It's all right. Go ahead. What do you got?
Honestly, this is probably the story of a high school football team. I forgot what the name of it was. I'm going to do some research on it. But this was like the first integrated high school football team and how they became undefeated in their year together in I think it's 70 or 71.
It was definitely the 70s. I forget the year specifically, but
Okay, this is mainly the story of the T.C. Williams High School in Alexandria, Virginia, which is a nice town. You should go see it. But they said much of this film's content is a little bit fictional.
really?
Mm-hmm. But mainly this was a story of Coach Herman Boone and the attempt to integrate the T.C. Williams High School, which is now known as Alexandria City High School. And I was right, it was 1971. There's a lot of good moments in it. Also, one of the most underrated Disney movies.
I forgot that Disney made this. That's right.
The Titans, you know. There's a lot of good moments too in it. A lot of side
Walt Disney Studios made this. I forgot about that.
in 2000.
Yeah, that's like, post Lion King, post, their Disney Renaissance era. They made Remember the Titans.
And you got Denzel Washington in it.
Yeah.
How can you not like Denzel Washington?
He's one of the best to ever do it.
He's a badass. He's great.
Mm-hmm.
He really is.
Denzel, baby.
Baby.
And they said this is probably the best football film, but the inaccuracies is the reason why it's now a little bit lower, and it received many criticisms.
Yeah, because I heard like the coach was not the best person or something like that.
It's just the inaccuracy, the whole, of the whole movie itself and how it went about.
So, yeah, Remember the Titans.
Great movie. Fantastic movie.
I have to go watch it now.
You do, Bill. I would almost want to make this a movie commentary so we can record your reaction to it.
I'd be cool with that.
I have seen it too many times to watch it again.
So, Al, I guess you're not joining us for this one?
It depends on where I am in the situation.
All good. We'll figure it out. No worries.
I got a good. Okay. You know what? While we're on the topic of sports movies, I actually have a good one.
Are you going with The Blind Side?
No, we were gonna do a commentary to this one, but we never got around for it. Since we're going back to the 40s on this one, folks.
The 40s?
The 1840s, not the 1940s.
Which one is this?
I am discussing
You guys again.
the Pride of the Yankees.
Sorry, I'm a Met fan. Speaking of 5 runs.
What was that?
5 runs so far with the Met. Winning.
This is a biopic about Henry Louis Gehrig. I will say it's very sanitized, but it gets the main points across. Like, for instance, it shows when Lou is young and he breaks a window in the very beginning. His mother said, "Why are you wasting your life playing baseball? You should go be an engineer like your uncle or your grandfather." And he strives to do that. But then, he's playing baseball at Columbia University. He gets offered to a contract to play for the Yankees.
Yep.
And Mrs. Gehrig is not happy about it.
Right.
But then seeing him play, he kind of comes around. There's one scene, I don't know if this really happened or if this was just artistic liberties.
Right.
Okay, we all know when Gehrig comes to the Yankees, whose shadow was he in? You all know him.
The Babe.
Babe Ruth. And there's a scene when he's in the when he's in a hospital and Babe is there. And Babe is in the hospital and he's with this kid and he's saying, Billy, how many home runs do you want me to hit you today? You want me to hit you a home run? Okay. And he's signing the ball for him, goes, you want to hit the right? Center. Got it. And then he walks out and all the entourage walks out and then Gehrig's in there. And he goes, hey, that's pretty cool that he signed it for you. Yeah, and then they're chatting and he goes, Mr. Gehrig, would you mind? And he goes, sure. And he signs the ball for him. And he goes, Lou, he goes, Mr. Gehrig, do you think you can hit me a home run today? Like, but Babe already promised you one. Goes, please. Goes, okay, I'll hit you one. He goes, you know what? Can you hit me two? You know, two? And he's like, okay, I'll do my best. And guess what he does?
What?
He hits two. And
nice.
I love this part. His family is sitting around listening. And when they hits the second home run, they're just like, because they have this picture of his uncle who was a engineer, and they're celebrating. They just turn the picture around like, okay, you know what? We're happy. Okay, uncle, your picture's been turned around. You are no longer important. Your picture's been turned around. We can't see it anymore. Your value of importance has diminished.
Mm.
Well, the guy's probably dead anyway, but still.
Yeah.
If your portrait's been turned around, you are no longer important.
Oof.
But and here's somewhere artistic liberties were made. They showed that Lou Gehrig's parents and his wife, Eleanor, got along. In reality, they hated each other.
Wow.
Oh, his mother despised his wife.
Oh, wow.
After Lou died, his parents actually sued Eleanor Gehrig. I think it was something about like their life insurance or something.
Yeah.
They sued her.
Wow.
The matter got settled out of court. But they do show when he does get sick.
Mm-hmm.
But again, they sanitize. This movie was actually released the year after Lou Gehrig passed away.
Oh, get out! Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if they were in production while he was still alive, while he was still alive, but that scene of the kid that he hit the home run for. He's at the game. He's walking into the day where he gives his famous, speech.
Yeah.
By the way, Sports Insanity Network, I actually did a whole vlog back on Lou Gehrig Day when I actually read the whole speech. So give that a look. But he walks in and that kid's like, Mr. Gehrig, I don't know if you remember me. You hit that home run for me when I was a kid and I was really sick and you came to my hospital and you hit those 2 home runs for me. He goes, Billy? He goes, I wanted to come and thank you because of you. And he says, see, I can walk. Okay, folks, hold it. I don't think Lou Gehrig made some kid walk. Okay, let's all just put that out of our minds.
Exactly. Yep.
I really don't think that scene happened. I don't think it happened. I think they just added that for artistic liberties. Like, Yeah, oh God, I'm not gonna go on about the Babe Ruth story. I'll be here all night. But anyway, but yeah, I don't think that happened.
All right.
If it did, well, I don't know if it did because all the people who were probably betrayed in this movie are now dead. So
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to be getting any criticism from them anytime soon.
Right.
Unless they're going to criticize me from beyond the grave.
Maybe they will. Who knows?
Yeah, but yeah, the movie was sanitized. But I think it gets the point across.
Cool. All righty. Is it my go?
Yeah, Gary Cooper does a good job as Lou Gehrig. All right, buddy, over to you.
All right. Well, I'm going to stick with sports for a second, but I'm going to go kind of modern, actually. I'm going to go to this year of 2023.
Air.
How'd you know?
The Jordan movie.
This movie was, first things first, I saw it on the last day it was in theaters. The moment I saw the trailer, I was like, I got to see this. For those of you who know me personally or know me or listen to us for any period of time, I am not a basketball guy whatsoever. But this intrigued me. It looked pretty good. It had Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, that iconic duo. I was like, it's about a sneaker. The Air Jordan shoe is about how Michael Jordan signed with, Nike and whatnot. I actually really enjoyed it a lot. And I found myself laughing quite a bit through the movie. I found myself like actually kind of like, like rooting for him. Like, are they going to sign him? Like, it was a really fun movie to see in theaters this year. I really enjoyed it. But it was a very, what do you call it? It was a very like unique film about how like back in the day, in the 80s, how the sneaker business was with basketball players and shoe companies. It kind of like tied into that a little bit. I thought it was great. I loved it. Did either of you see this movie this year?
Nope.
Gonna see it on Prime eventually.
Okay, so because another reason why, thank you for reminding me. Another reason why I wanted to see it was because it's an Amazon Prime movie, an Amazon Studios movie. I'm trying to support, this is just me personally, I'm trying to support Amazon movies in general because they are promoting in theatrical release films first and not just direct to streaming like the way Netflix does. They're actually trying to have like a theater life fan, which proves that it has a better life, a streaming life. So I'm trying to support those movies if I can. So that's just me personally. That's just me. But this movie was great. I had a fun time with Air in the theater, and the soundtrack was really good too. So, but you guys did not see it though. All right,
I'll get to it eventually.
It's really, really, really good. Ben Affleck directed it, but he did not write it though. It was written by someone else. But it was great. I had a really, I kind of want to, watch this movie with my dad because it's actually it's a very funny movie at the same time. So, I don't know, it's really cool, really cool movie overall.
It shows the more business side of sports, from what you're telling me.
Yeah, it was more like, it was less about like watching like the players play. It was more about like how the business side of the sneaker business was back in the day. So it was pretty cool. Plus, I did an out of the theater reaction to the movie on our YouTube channel. Go watch it. It's on our channel on our out of the theater reactions playlist. But yeah, Air, Courting a Legend, fantastic. I mean, it was just a fun time in the theater watching this movie, and it really gave me, who has no interest in basketball whatsoever, I know, shame, but it's like it gave me insight on how that stuff kind of works today with like LeBron, and when God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant went on, how it worked with them, how like the sneaker companies tied it all kind of started with Michael Jordan and Air. So it was pretty cool. So yeah, that's my another one of my picks, Air, Courting a Legend. I really liked it. So, Al, you want to go next?
Oh, I feel like, should we go out of sports and go into music? Let me see what
You can go. You can do anything. If you want to keep going sports, go. If you want to do non-sports, go right ahead.
May I suggest one to you?
Go for it.
This is gonna sound crazy, but 2014 will turn 10 next year. But The Imitation Game, have you guys heard of this movie?
No.
I heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you guys have seen it, but I just want to touch on it really quick. This is a movie starring The Imitation Game, starring Benedict Cumberbatch. What it's about is it's had someone out there's gonna correct me on this, but basically it's a movie about how to crack the code about how to win World War II by hacking Nazi Germany, if I'm not mistaken. That's the
There are a lot of these good movies based in World War II.
A lot of them are, yeah, you're right. So this one, but I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch is Benedict Cumberbatch. This is pre-Doctor Strange stuff. Well, this is really. I remember when it came out, and I was like, I want to see this. I never saw it, unfortunately, in theaters, but it was nominated for a couple of Oscars as well, if one understand too. So, but it's another one of those World War II. Ironically enough, it's like Oppenheimer in this one. Imitation Game was one of those ones like they're trying to hack the code for the Nazis, and it was back in like the 40s and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I mean, it was nominated for 8 Academy Awards too, apparently, which is great. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this or not, but it came to mind because it's about, I forget the character's name or the person's name, but yeah, there's one right there for you. But the Imitation Game, I have not seen it myself, but I mean, I do recommend you check it out because Benedict Cumberbatch is one of the best of all time. In my opinion, he's a phenomenal actor, so just check it out too. Allie, did you have one in mind, or because I kind of hijacked your pick there for a sec? But if you want
to keep going, go ahead.
All right, cool. We talked about this one though. It's funny how we got a couple more to go to, but I will say this: seeing Bohemian Rhapsody in theaters, the Queen biopic on Queen, with Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury. It was flawed. I mean, there's no denying it. There actually was like some flaws there. I'm sure Bill can chime in a second on this, but like, I'm glad Rami Malek won the Oscar for Best Lead Actor, and he deserved it. He nailed that role. Like, and it was like literally watching Freddie Mercury come back from the grave. Actually, it's funny. I saw this movie with my grandmother, at her house.
Oh wow!
Really quick backstory. I saw this movie with her. I mean, I saw it in theaters, of course, because it was Queen. It was one too, but I saw it with my grandmother, who. She knew Queen. She never really listened to Queen back in the day when they were still operating as a whole band and whatnot. But she really there were some flaws, unfortunately, with Freddie Mercury's actually he never told anyone he had AIDS until like the day before he died and whatnot. I'm sure Bill's gonna chime in a second.
Oh, I'm excited, right?
Oh, you're excited. I can't wait. But yeah, like. I showed her, and she actually realized that was a pretty good movie. I'm glad she was able to watch it. So it was on like HBO, not the service, but like not the streaming service, like on the channels, like HBO on TV on the cable box. So we watched it on there one night, and she liked it. She liked the movie for what it was worth. Bill.
Okay,
time to hijack the pick.
Before I begin, I just want to say first about your grandmother, who I had the pleasure of meeting a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to get into everything, but she's a sweet woman, but she's someone you do not want to mess with.
Ain't that the truth?
We'll tell you off camera, Allie. It's a funny story. We just don't think it's appropriate to tell on camera.
Right.
But anyway, Freddie Mercury. Okay, they're saying that he got diagnosed with AIDS the day of Live Aid. That didn't happen.
Happened
He
before,
diagnosed
right?
to like 87 or 88.
Later.
And remember, he didn't tell everybody that he died that he had AIDS till like the day before he died.
Yeah, and let's not forget everyone. AIDS, just on a side note, if you got AIDS back then, you were dead. You literally will die.
If you were just HIV positive,
forget it. Yeah,
like you were done. Like,
yeah.
Thankfully, today there's been an advance in treatment.
Yeah, for treating it, but
look at Magic Johnson.
Yeah, exactly.
He tested positive in 91, and he's still alive.
Lucky duck. Unfortunately, Freddie Mercury, we lost him. So,
but anyway, but another thing that they showed that was wrong was they showed that Queen broke up and Live Aid was like a reunion. That didn't happen either. Queen was still together when Live Aid before Live Aid. Like they showed that they broke up. They didn't break up. They were still together. But as I've said in our historically inaccurate movies one, I'll say this: it was sort of a redemption show because around this time, because their popularity kind of decreased because they played in South Africa, and a lot of musicians at the time were boycotting South Africa because of apartheid. And I think it had something to do with Nelson Mandela as well. But Queen played there and they got a lot of backlash for it. But, they said, hey, we're not political. We just played where our fans are. So when they came on and did Live Aid, it was all forgotten. It was all forgotten. So that was sort of their redemption show.
Can I chime in for 1 second? You said something very interesting about how Queen was not broken up. They didn't break up really at all. I mean, they may have had fights and whatnot during that time period, but they never broke up. In fact, just to side note, my aunt, who is alive and well, of course, she lived through the 80s. She saw Queen in 1986. Okay. She said, and just to give you an idea, if you go to concerts, this is what, just want to side note. When people say, "Oh, this was oh my God, Justin Bieber was the greatest show of all time." Queen,
Taylor Swift too. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but that's a whole other conversation for another time. But Queen, by 1985 and 6, especially their Live Aid performance, Queen was one of the best live bands on the planet, and that Live Aid performance really was a testament of that too. It was live on TV and whatnot, but she said, and she remembers to this day, she took my grandmother, her own mother, to see Queen, and I'm like, I flipped out at her. You saw Queen? She's like, yeah, it was the most disgusting. Freddie Mercury was swearing the whole time. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Oh, you're looking down on me right now. I know, but God rest your soul. But yes, my aunt saw Queen back in the day. She saw Queen in 1986. She said it was in the top 5 performances she's ever seen in her lifetime. She goes to 50 shows a year. She lives in California, but that's why. But besides the point, Queen was in the top 5 for all-time performances. So that should tell you something about Queen right there. But that's another conversation for another time. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but it is amazing.
And the movie was great. I mean, yes, it was flawed at some points. The movie itself was flawed to some extent with some of the plot points, but overall, I found it enjoyable. I thought it was actually a really good story. But I mean, outside of the AIDS part at the very end, oh, that didn't happen. What? You know what I mean?
You footage me, JT, when you're if it's based on a true story, I'm the one who will just sit there and go, that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Imagine if remember Noah from 2014? It should be Noah based on a true story. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding.
But but that's based on a biblical story, and most of the people who are alive, all of the people who are alive are now dead. So
exactly. No, I'm just, what I'm saying though. It's I'm just saying, it's a joke, Bill. It's a joke. Anyways, Bo Rap was another one that I wanted to touch on really quick. Do you guys have any others? I have a couple more that we can go off on.
I have a couple more.
Go ahead and get yours done for them. We'll go.
I got I didn't see this one, but I wanted to. I feel like Bill did for whatever reason.
Oh, right. What is it?
With the founder?
No, I didn't see it.
You didn't see it, but it's the movie about how McDonald's came to be.
Yes.
The Mick movie, if you will.
Starring Batman.
Starring Batman, exactly.
Yeah, so I didn't see it. Well, what makes you think I seen it, JT?
I thought for some reason I thought you said you saw it. I must have been mistaken. It's okay.
I did not see it.
It's all right. But
James, how dare you assume?
Oh my God, Allie, did you see this movie?
No, I haven't.
Well, I I did not see this movie myself, but I kind of, but for those you don't know, it is about just to touch on it for a second, and then we'll go over to Allie for a second. This movie was about how McDonald's was founded and how Ray Kroc really wanted to make McDonald's, this local restaurant, into a chain, and how it went to what it is today, really much. And it's a very interesting movie, truthfully. If you're looking for a movie just to like give you like make you think a little bit, watch The Founder. Just saying. Allie, go ahead, take it away.
We're going back to music. We're going to Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Yeah, surprisingly an underrated movie.
2019, right? Yeah. There we go.
2019, 2020, starring Taron Egerton, who did an amazing job as Elton John. Wait, did he produce this movie too?
I think he did.
Mainly talks about what Elton has gone through, like all the abuse and the struggles he had with drugs and mental health, and how he ended up in a rehab in 1984.
Yes.
Pretty much just summing everything up.
Yeah, but this movie. Okay, you know what? Here's what I'm going to say. If you take this movie compared to Bohemian Rhapsody,
That's a little under.
This movie has a lot of inaccuracies. But this movie can get away with it because it doesn't take itself super seriously. Like Bohemian Rhapsody is everything happened. Because, you know, it would more be like an Elton John type musical. Like in the opening scene, you have Elton in rehab, and then you have a young Reggie Dwight, which is Elton's real name, by the way, Reginald Dwight. And he's like, and they break into a version of The Bitch Is Back.
Nice.
With a younger Elton.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't consider this a biopic, personally.
Okay.
It's more of like an Elton John musical.
And Elton John. I like that, actually. That's
so
good.
What do you consider Jersey Boys? Yes, it's a musical on Broadway that got turned into a biopic musical.
Okay, touche.
And also all those Whitney Houston movies. Aretha.
Are you trying to knock me off my pedestal?
Might as well talk about Elvis while we're at it. Put it on there, JT.
I like my pedestal. Don't knock me off my pedestal.
Good, I'll give you a nice bronze medal.
We'll bring it up in a second, and then we'll probably close off the night with that.
With what?
With Elton, maybe? I mean, unless you guys have a couple more.
I got a few more.
All right, cool.
Okay. May I?
Yeah.
I'm going into a historical one, and I talked about this movie a couple weeks ago, but now I can go into more detail. Lincoln.
You said Lincoln?
Lincoln.
You got Elton John stuck in my head now. This is great.
Lincoln. I thought you said Blinken.
Like, okay, this is a movie about about what ended up being the last 3 months of Lincoln's life. So this isn't exactly Abraham Lincoln was born in blah, 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 blah. He became president in 1860. This is about the last 3 months of his life in which he was trying to fight for the 13th Amendment. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. What I really liked about this movie is they portrayed it as Lincoln the man, not Lincoln the legend. You know, when we hear about Lincoln, we think of him standing tall with the top hat and 7 years ago. We show he kind of talks like this, and he's sort of hunched over. And he's sort of hunched over like this, and he kind of is very soft-spoken, you know, like this, JT. He gives into, you see that he is dealing with a lot of like personal stuff. Like, for instance, his son who died of an illness, and his older son who wants to go into the Union Army, but he's saying that's not happening. And it dives into his wife, Mary Todd's mental health. And, because there was rumors that she was schizophrenic. And she says, and he actually says, if this keeps going on, I'm going to throw you back in the nut house. And she goes, do it. Because her mental health started declining after their son died. But a great scene with this movie is they how it says it portrays Lincoln the man, not the legend. There is a scene, it's like really in the beginning of the movie. They're at like a flag raising, and he takes off his top hat and he brings out a speech. He goes, as we lift this flag, it is up to you, the people, to keep it up. That's my speech. Well, that was a very short speech. and but how he breaks out into telling stories about people he knew or about someone. There's this one scene when a big assault is going on, and one of the generals is there, goes, this reminds me of a great American hero, Ethan Allen. And they're like, no, oh God, I know that look. He's gonna tell a story. No, I don't want to hear the story right now. But it's but it really shows you, throughout the film, he lacks the confidence. Is the 13th Amendment going to pass? Is it going to pass? And there is a scene when it's on the day of the ratification, the day of the vote of the ratification. There is a black family or a bunch of other African-American folks going into the balcony, and the Speaker of the House looks up and he says, for the first time here in the People's House in American history, may we say, welcome to your house. And then it shows, and it shows like these congressmen who are reluctant about voting for the amendment.
Yeah.
They're reluctant because he's talking to one of them and he goes, Mr. President, I hate slavery too, but are we ready for full emancipation? And he's like, and you were also saying on the floor that before the leave of the vote goes, that's a positive once you think about it. And on all those men who are reluctant, one of them, they first vote no and says, you know what? Shoot me dead. Yay. And they're like, traitor, traitor. And they're like, you know what? I abstain. And this other guy's like, you know what? Shoot me dead too. I vote yay. Well, okay, I'm going to abstain too. Cowards. Yeah, nothing like insulted people who've died about over a century ago.
Exactly.
But that one guy he was talking to, he goes, sir, how do you vote? He goes, what was that? And then it shows the 13th Amendment passing, the end of the Civil War, and then we all know what happens 5 days later.
Yep.
Lincoln is assassinated. But you know what I like about this movie is that they show Lincoln. Spoiler, Lincoln dies.
Yes.
Of course he dies.
It was fate.
Here's what's interesting. They show Lincoln's death scene not through his perspective. They show it through his son's perspective. Lincoln's at Ford Theater and his son is at another theater watching some show. And somebody runs in and says, the president has been shot at Ford's Theater. And the kid is crying, and then they show him on his deathbed and they say, he belongs to the ages now. And the last scene they show actually a flashback to his second inaugural address, which is, I hate to get political, but I think this speech is very poignant, especially in the times we live in now.
Mm-hmm.
When he famously says, "With malice towards none and charity for all, let us take the steps to rebuild a divided nation."
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's what I like about this movie, because it talks about Lincoln the man, not Lincoln the myth. It shows you what he was really like, not what we think he was like. And by the way, Daniel Day-Lewis won his third Oscar for this, so he now has an Oscar for all three of his names.
Yep.
I won an Oscar for all three of my names.
That's funny.
Yeah, good luck finding a job that will do that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
like I'm
we
also
can
going to
get
get.
to a Mixie.
And you know what, Allie? This will also be the year I will finally get voted Person of the Year.
Bill Murphy, Person of the Year, everyone.
Congratulations, you already won. Mazel tov.
I will finally get voted Person of the Year this year. All right. Anyone else?
Allie, got one?
I had two, but I'll go for one quickly, and then I'll have one more.
Okay.
I want to start with Selena. Which, this happened like a couple years after she got shot by one of her fans who was running her fan club. Jennifer Lopez was amazing at it. She was a rising Tejano star. Unfortunately, tragedy hit her so young.
Yeah.
But can we not talk about Elvis?
We can talk about Elvis. Good one.
Austin Butler.
He killed it.
After you became Elvis, I don't think you'll ever stop being Elvis.
It's
You
hard.
embraced what
It's
Elvis
hard.
was. Did he win Best Actor? No, he deserved to win Best Actor for the Oscars.
He did not win it, but he did deserve it.
No offense to Brendan Fraser.
No offense to Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser.
Austin Butler deserved it.
Yes. The role of a lifetime right there.
And I keep thinking back to your pool party on Friday with you dancing to Elvis in your Pickle Rick costume.
Oh God, he's bringing that up. Anyways, we'll talk about that off camera.
I just thought it was funny.
It was pretty funny. I will say that I had the costume to go with it, but I didn't have enough time to change into it, so that's okay though.
Pickle Rick, the next best thing.
Yeah, it was great. This movie was. I really enjoyed it. That's just me. And he embodied that. It's hard to take on like a character, a person like that, but my God, he nailed it. I saw this movie with my grandmother in theaters. In theaters, mind you, not at home. She went out to the theater with me to go see it.
Wow.
And you know who else you saw it with?
I saw it with Bill Murphy and Justin.
You saw it with us.
Yeah, I saw it again with her. And because she actually saw him live in 1972. So she still has the ticket. Still has and she was going to see him. Ticket? She was going to see him in 77, but tragedy struck. So
that
happened. Phenomenal. I enjoyed this movie a lot. I mean, there were some parts where like questionable. I mean, like Tom Hanks's character. Yes, we totally understand that.
Tom Hanks is good, but just really
the character, of Colonel Tom Parker, exactly. So, but yeah, no, overall phenomenal biopic. A biopic to be reckoned with, in my opinion. So, like Austin Butler's performance was incredible. I was in the theater. I'm like, I'm watching Elvis live on concert. It was funny.
Yeah, because you know what? I said this. When you looked at Austin Butler, you saw Elvis Presley. You didn't see Austin Butler doing an Elvis Presley impression. You saw Elvis.
Exactly.
When it comes to Tom Parker, I didn't see Colonel Tom Parker. I saw Tom Hanks talking in a funny accent.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And you and I have fought about this 6,372,000 times.
We have, but it's okay.
No, JT and I have fought about this. We have.
We've given a lot of thought to that role.
Yeah, but no, I really liked this too.
It was definitely like and I don't know. I'm not gonna go too much on it, but it was definitely an eye opener of a great movie, a great biopic in general. So, anything else, guys?
You know what? I got one more musical biopic.
Sure. What do you got?
Love and Mercy.
I forgot all about it. No, not Lover. Sorry. And the Brian Wilson one.
Yes. John Cusack plays Brian Wilson, the founder of the Beach Boys. This goes into the years in which he stopped touring with the Beach Boys because he was having some health issues.
Yep.
And this was about the relationship with his now wife, whose name escapes me right now.
Oh, I'm forgetting her name too. Anyways.
But it also dives into something that I don't think is really talked about.
What's that?
What they call the Landy years, which he was basically in a conservatorship with a psychiatrist named Dr. Eugene Landy. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspelled his name. Eugene Landy. He got his doctor license taken away.
Yeah.
Because allegedly he basically took Brian Wilson away from his family and wouldn't see him. It actually got to the point where where he was charging the family so much, they literally had to sell Eugene Landy the rights, gave Eugene Landy the rights to his songs as collateral.
He wormed his way into his finances pretty much. I do know about this.
Yeah. I just want to say John Cusack, I think, did Brian Wilson very well. And Paul Giamatti as Landy. And because there's a scene, like, he basically put him on so many meds.
Yeah.
He was basically trying to kill him.
Yeah, by the grace of God, he's alive. Really, it's truthfully.
Because there was actually a scene when, what is Brian Wilson's wife's name, JT? Do you know?
Melinda. I don't know her last name.
That Melinda goes to see Brian's will.
Yeah.
Eugene Landy put in the will that 80% of his money would go to him.
Mm-hmm.
That 80% of his money would go to him. And he left, like, I think 10% for he left like 10% for Landy's girlfriend and another 10% for both of Brian Wilson's daughters.
Right.
Just on a legal note, I'm no lawyer and I'm in no position to give legal advice, but I think if he were to die, God forbid, I think Wilson's daughters could probably sue Eugene Landy and contest the will.
They probably could.
Because they could make the argument that Brian Wilson was not in sound body and mind when he did it.
No, absolutely not. No.
So, and listen, I'm not a lawyer. I am in no position to give you legal advice. So please don't go to me for legal advice. I'm just going to give you very bad advice. So, but yeah, it would say that because if he did die, God forbid, thank God he didn't. Then they could have just contested the will, saying, yeah, he wasn't in sound body and mind, so we want the money. So give us the money.
Right.
Oh.
So Brian Wilson, but long story short of what happened to Eugene Landy, he near the end of the movie, he gets served with papers. Eventually, he ended up losing his license.
Yeah.
And then he died.
there's a whole Wikipedia page on this one thing. If you really are more interested in like finding out more about this case and whatnot, this guy Eugene Landy and whatnot, if you want to really dig into it, there's a whole Wikipedia page about it and how like it's sad how what Brian went through. So
but you know what? This movie shows one thing that we all knew.
What?
Brian Wilson is a freaking genius.
It really is. If you're not aware of the Beach Boys music, get on it. That's all I'm saying.
You know, it's really sad that he's retired now.
Yeah, I saw him right before he retired too.
And you said he did not look good.
He barely sung. He just literally sat there. Literally sat there and did nothing. So
yeah, didn't he say like half of God Only Knows? And he's like,
I have videos somewhere about him playing God Only Knows. Him singing like the first verse, and then someone else picks up after him. It was pretty sad. So
did he do anything else? Or just say, you know what, good night?
They literally wheeled him off stage after the set.
Yeah, it's he's 80 something years old now.
He's an old man.
His birthday's 2 days after Paul McCartney's.
He's 81.
He's before.
Yeah. And look at Paul. He's still in great shape.
I know, it's crazy. So
it really shows you. But yeah, Love and Mercy. Go check it out. John Cusack does a great job as Brian Wilson.
Sweet.
All right. Anything else?
I think that just about does it, guys.
I mean, that's all, folks.
We want to thank you all for watching, listening, however you enjoyed us tonight. We want to thank you for tuning in, as always, to our show. It is always a pleasure to do these shows for you guys and upload them to podcast format as well. So all of our listeners out there, thanks so much for listening to us, and all of our viewers out there, thanks so much for watching us. I want to thank the two fine individuals who do the show with me all the time, Bill Murphy and Allie. Thank you so much again for everything you guys do. Kudos and props to both of you. And Bill, you have, what is it? A podcast thing?
Sports Insanity Podcast on the Sports Insanity Network.
Yes. And I can officially plug it. In the description of this video is the Movieholics Productions YouTube channel. Link, please go subscribe to them. They are going to pick up the pace at some point and do more videos soon. They're not sure.
We are now a Super Review Show affiliate.
They're underneath my umbrella, if you will. I'm becoming Disney, like I said.
Oh, God, you're not going to fire us if we screw up, are we?
Absolutely. I need you guys. I'm not going to fire you. What are you talking about? So, anyways.
You can't, it's not like you can replace us with a goat or something.
Exactly.
If that happens, I'm going to laugh.
Jeremy Johnson's coming to join us. No,
replace. You know what? You know what we should do? Speaking of Jeremy Johnson.
What?
I cannot believe I'm saying this on camera. I'm going to do it. Are you ready?
Go ahead.
Jeremy Johns, we are calling you out. Come on.
We would love to have you as a guest, Jeremy Johns. I don't know. I don't know if it's possible, but that's a big task, buddy.
You know what? We tried.
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. But Jeremy, we still think you're
awesome.
Spectacular.
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks so much for watching, listening, however you enjoyed us. Don't forget to follow us on our podcast format and subscribe. Follow our social media platforms as well. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Simply at
Tell your friends. Tell
all your family members to follow us on our social media. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. So